Hello everyone, my name is Sean Mental. Welcome back to another video, guys. So in this video, we're going to be discussing the current state of World of Warcraft and my return to the game after, a full year and a half of not playing consistently. Coming back again now and there, but really not coming back consistently. So with that being said, guys, make sure to like and subscribe if you guys do enjoy the video, and comment down below more video ideas because I'm open to plenty of ideas. So just a little bit of background for those of you guys who are new to the channel. I made a YouTube channel, this channel, Sean Mental, around 2 years ago, which I kept for about 6 months, consistently uploading 2 videos a week about World of Warcraft, about the state of the game, updates, discussions, etc. And after a while, I kind of just took a big break because I felt as though I was getting kind of sick of making videos. Not in the sense that I didn't like talking to you guys or hearing your comments, but in the sense that I felt like other commitments in my life were getting in the way of it, and I wasn't enjoying YouTube. I don't do YouTube, I know obviously you can make money on YouTube. I don't do it with that goal. I do it with the goal of just connecting with people online and just making videos that inform people, and people are like, oh, nice video, I like getting to share my experiences. So with that knowledge in your head, I'm back, obviously. I took a long break and I'm back to YouTube. So what exactly has happened in this break, and what do I think of the current state of the game? So, first of all, I think World of Warcraft current state is not in a great position. I didn't make any videos on actual Battle for Azeroth because that was right when I took my break, right when the expansion was about to release. And I think Battle for Azeroth has had some ups and some downs. So, first off, I'll begin with the start of the expansion. I feel as though Battle for Azeroth's start was a stronger one, as the leveling, which has been, I just want to say this in general, the leveling has not been bad, in my opinion, since probably about Burning Crusade. And I don't think Burning Crusade had a bad story, don't get me wrong, it was one of the best stories of all time. Battle for Azeroth's story is shitty, not Burning Crusade, but Burning Crusade leveling was so grindy. It's the same with Classic. It's almost like you're mob grinding. The past 3-4 expansions, I genuinely have loved leveling through. I know WoD gets shit on all the time. WoD's leveling is probably my favorite leveling of any expansion. I loved Warlords of Draenor. I liked Legions a lot, and I thought Battle for Azeroth was just as good. Not better, but just as good. It was just a good story, and that and the art department have been the 2 departments that I feel have not changed over the past years in any way downward, only gone upward, only gotten better. So that has stayed pretty consistently. So, the game launches, whatever, and then obviously, some of these content patches that have come out, I'm not going to go into many specifics because I just want to say the current state of the game, not the past state of the game, because that is the past. I'm going to focus on the past here. I feel like a lot of what they did with the new systems that they implemented with the war campaign was, your primary one, the necklace you get, and a lot of them didn't feel very fresh and original to me, and I'll put it in this way. The war campaign I didn't dislike, but I felt like the war campaign gets very repeated after a while. I feel like once you go through the story on multiple characters, I went through on one Horde, one Alliance, and going through that Horde, the second, because I mained Alliance was expansion, going through it on that Horde, even seeing the different perspective, I just felt like, this is getting a little bit boring for me. I didn't feel like there was that much original content. And my heart is with those players who had to do it multiple times on multiple characters on the same faction. That would be hell. So, obviously the war campaign was bad, and I really wasn't a fan of the Heart of Azeroth, and I figured it was going to have the same problems that Artifact Weapons did, where it's a constant grind you always have to keep maintaining. And I understand Blizzard wants to implement, some kind of constant grind, because I understand there's some players like me who like to farm out for a mount or a piece of gear and just do it all at once, and then there's other players who like to log in each day, do a little bit, chip away, and getting gear in most expansions you're able to do pretty quickly. Usually there's systems in place. However, the Heart of Azeroth is a way for you to just gradually build up your character's strength over time, which is what it is. So those 2 systems are the 2 newer systems to me. Obviously, you have the mission table returning, your new continents, which isn't anything that crazy. And you just had a few repeated things. You had the whole war, which I didn't really think they emphasized. And going to the next major content patch with Nazjatar and Mechagon, I feel like this was a stronger patch for them. I feel like this was good. But what you guys came here for is the current state of the game. So regardless of what I thought of Nazjatar and Mechagon, which I did play some of, the current state of the game in 8.3, I'm not going to lie, guys, is not good. There's reports coming out right now that 8.3.5, which was announced, got canceled and scrapped to dedicate more time to World of Warcraft Shadowlands, which is the next expansion. And while I like the idea of them dedicating more to the future, they got to think about the present here, because you got to consider the idea that there is probably millions and millions of people right now logging in every single day, whether it's current content or classic, log in every single day, and they're stuck with this BS 8.3 patch. One that the systems in play are fun, but the overall patch is not. So 8.3 is the current state of WoW, and the story campaign in 8.3, I did it in around an hour. I think 8.3, the entire campaign, you know, from like the story, quote unquote, campaign, hour, maybe hour and a half. And on top of that, I like how Blizzard reinvented old zones like Uldum and the Vale were these two new zones that they obviously just revamped, and I felt like that was a really strong idea from them, from actually going back and getting new zones. I know a lot of people don't really agree with that. They would have liked the new content, but I kind of like the idea of going back to old zones. With that being said, the story campaign, terrible in 8.3. I mean, I really was just like, I want to get through this because I knew what the systems were. I was like, I just want to get to it. And the 8.3 campaign, horrible. The new invasions are not an original idea. This is basically just like doing a bonus objective or doing a world quest, essentially, and they've had Legion invasions. This is not an original idea. Not a fan of that. And overall, I just wasn't impressed by what they had. I think the horrific vision system, which I've been slowly diving into, and upgrading Legendary Cloak, I actually don't hate that system. I think it's fun. I think the horrific visions are a good fun bit of content to do, and I like the idea of them. The Cloak, you know, legendaries are what they are, but I didn't have a problem with it. So coming back as an old player and seeing this, it doesn't look good. And then obviously the Ny'alotha Raid cinematic, if you guys haven't seen it, go watch it. It's uploaded all over YouTube. Horrible. They ripped off Lord of the Rings. The way that this big old god in N'Zoth, they've been hyping up for years, and I mean years. You kill him in probably, what, a 2-hour raid, and he just dies. He just dies, and then an eye falls off a wall, looks like Lord of the Rings. Happy days, we're done. Yeah, no, not a fan of that personally. I didn't think that was a good look on top of everything else that's been coming out. So, I feel like the current state of the game, guys, is not the greatest. I feel like the current state of the game is one that needs to be improved on for sure. I think it's one that, there's so many other things I could have added to this expansion and just this patch alone. And if this was a filler patch, which it's not, this is the final patch of the expansion, it'd be one thing, but it's really not. And I'm really hoping that Shadowlands is good, and I'm going to continue to report on it regardless, guys, but overall, not that impressed with the current state of the game. I feel like there's a lot of things that could be better, and I feel like what they're doing right now with 8.3, kind of making it a filler patch, despite it meant to be this big, content-rich patch, it's just not a good look for the game, and I feel like the developers are getting kind of lazy. And ultimately, it's not even the developers' fault. It's Activision. You know, Activision's made many job cuts. If you guys go and Google World of Warcraft job listings, they've cut hundreds of jobs for no good reason, and it's Activision. It's slowly ruining the game, and it's the current state of the game, guys. I really don't think good. So yeah, obviously, guys, I feel like this isn't the best look for World of Warcraft at all that it possibly could be. I feel like, I don't know, I feel like a lot of what's happened recently has been just kind of filler, and, you know, Blizzard really not going to, like, the meat and potatoes of their game, which is just telling a cool story. You know, obviously people want lore, and they want all these deep characters that make sense, but sometimes just having, like, a kick-ass moment looks good, and that stupid Ny'alotha cinematic was not what they needed right now. They needed something to really, you know, rejuvenate players' experiences, want them to play the game, and what they were doing with that, just wasn't impressed with it, guys. I really felt like Blizzard could have done better than that, and I think they themselves know what they could have. So the current state of the game, as an old player, if you ask me, is not the greatest. I think that overall, Blizzard has just been shoving out content like we're a baby, and they're holding a spoon full of gross baby formula and trying to put it down our throats. We don't want the baby formula. We want sweet candy, okay? We're a baby here. We want yummy stuff, and we haven't been getting yummy food as content recently. We've been getting that baby formula crap, or we've been getting, you know, pineapple on pizza or something, you know, something just so gross. It's like, what are you giving to me right now? And I feel like overall Blizzard really needs to work on this. I feel like going forward, Blizzard and Activision, it is Activision's fault, but I'm going to target Blizzard, obviously. I think Blizzard needs to think about more what they're going to do for their patches in Shadowlands, knowing that releasing an expansion is great, and the leveling is going to be great, regardless. The art is going to be great. You know, a new Covenant system hopefully will be great, but what comes after is what determines an expansion. Battle for Azeroth, its launch went well. I mean, its launch went relatively smooth, leveling was fun, it was all good and dandy, but what comes afterwards is what defines an expansion. I think it's something that the developers need to realize and do going forward. So hopefully the current state gets better, but this patch is not a good look for WoW. So yeah, guys, hopefully you guys did enjoy. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Hopefully you guys felt like it was a good video, a good discussion you guys want. Like and subscribe for more videos. Comment down below video ideas that you guys would like to see, and let me know, what do you guys think about the current expansion? You know, overall, I feel like it could be better, but we'll have to see what happens going forward. Thank you everyone who tuned in. I love all of you. Have a wonderful rest of your day. Goodbye.